Just 12 months ago today, German giant Bayer Leverkusen found themselves in the relegation zone, struggling to get any positive result. In almost a desperate play from the club, they decided to sack former Young Boys manager Gerardo Sioni. Understandable at the time, but Bayer Leverkusen decided to hire a manager that was an amazing player in his time, but very inexperienced when it came to being a manager. That man was, of course, Xabi Alonso, and after just 12 months at the helm of the club, he has taken them from the relegation zone to a 6th place finish, a Europa League semi-final, and at this current moment in time, they sit top of the Bundesliga after 7 games played. But how did an inexperienced manager who had only managed a reserve team turn this club's fortunes around in just 12 months? Well, that's what we will be discussing in today's video. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, as I will be covering football all season long. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the video. Now, I think it's fair to say that Xabi Alonso's appointment at Bayer Leverkusen at the start of October last year raised a few eyebrows around the footballing world. With Leverkusen's second bottom of the Bundesliga at the time after a horrible start to the season, it would have been far easier and maybe even more logical for Bayer to hire an experienced head coach to replace the Swiss manager in Gerardo Sioni. But Leverkusen opted to take a gamble and went with Xabi Alonso. The former Liverpool and Real Madrid midfielder had never managed in the top flight in any country before. Xabi Alonso's only coaching roles he had prior to his appointment at Leverkusen was coaching Real Madrid's Infantil team from 2018 to 2019, which is basically one of Madrid's youth teams. He also managed Real Sociedad B from 2019 to 2022, which is, as you could guess, Real Sociedad's reserve team. But despite his obvious lack of experience at the helm and coming into a club in desperate need of a rebuild after just 1 win in their last 8 and coming off an embarrassing defeat to third-tier team Alversberg and thus getting knocked out of the DFB Pokal, he got off to a flying start as Leverkusen manager as he guided his side to a 4-0 win over Schalke in his first game as a top-flight manager. And he hasn't looked back since. This win was in fact the biggest margin of victory in a manager's first Bundesliga game in charge of Leverkusen. But a 6-game winless run across all competitions after that game proved that there was still tons of work to be done at the club. But after that winless run, Leverkusen won 3 consecutive Bundesliga games before the 2022 World Cup break, including a 5-0 thrashing of then league leaders Union Berlin and an away victory over rivals Cologne in the Rhine Derby. After starting the year in 12th and just 5 points above the relegation zone, Leverkusen finished the season in 6th place and going all the way to the Europa League semi-final, where they narrowly lost 1-0 on aggregate to Jose Mourinho's Roma. And now, to start this season, Xabi Alonso and his team currently sit top of the Bundesliga after 7 games with 6 wins and just 1 draw, including beating RB Leipzig on the first day, beating both Cologne and Gladbach 3-0, and the only draw coming against the German super team, that is Bayern Munich, in a game that genuinely could have gone either way, but a 94th minute penalty scored by Palacios salvaged a point for Leverkusen. And as well as winning their only DFB Pokal game of the season so far, 8-0, and then winning also both of their opening Europa League games. But how has Xabi Alonso turned this team around, turned them into a competitive, fun and attacking team that gets results? Now, tactically, Alonso has drawn from many of the different ideas for inspiration for his style. I mean, playing under Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti and Rafael Benitez will do this to you. His first move was to stabilize the defense, playing counter-attacking football when he first arrived at the helm of Bayer Leverkusen. Once they were more a solid team out of possession, Alonso put his attention to improving Leverkusen's quality on the ball. They have taken another big step forward this year, becoming more and more watchable, and they are now playing arguably the best football in Germany. While managing at Sociedad's B team, his young and inexperienced team had more than 70% possession in 7 separate games. This showing the blueprint of how Xabi Alonso wants his team to control the ball and the tempo of the game. Bayer Leverkusen's improvement over the last year has been evident by their increased control in build-up play, which leads to a pass-heavy attacking style. In the opening 5 games of the season, Leverkusen averaged the most passes per sequence among all teams in the Bundesliga, surpassing even the mighty giants in Bayern Munich. Their ability to combine high passing frequency with quick and incisive play has been key to their impressive start to the season. Now off the pitch, Bayer Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso's business has been nearly just as impressive. Despite losing Michel Bakker to Atalanta for 10 million euros and losing their star winger and arguably best player in Moussa Diaby to Aston Villa for around 55 million euros, their recruitment has been impressive. Signing Alejandro Grimaldo from Benfica on a free, Jonas Hoffmann from Gladbach for just 10 million, Xhaka from Arsenal for 15 million, Victor Boniface, who is averaging an incredible 7.6 shots per 90, scoring 9 goals in just 10 games since joining, and a talented winger in Nathan Teller for a combined 43, and then some extra signings around the fringes, has shown Xabi Alonso and Bayer's ability to recruit well. Players who have excelled at the highest level don't always succeed when they go into management, but so far off this small 12-month sample, Alonso does not seem to be part of this group. Another key thing that Alonso has seemed to have done is unlock the potential of Leverkusen's wonder kid in 20-year-old Florian Wirtz. Wirtz has got 3 goals and 4 assists in 10 games this season for Leverkusen, and according to Transfermarkt, Wirtz's transfer value has risen from 70 million euros to 85 million euros in just 12 months. Now the next question is just how long Bayer Leverkusen can keep Alonso as manager. There have been so many reports that Real Madrid have already chosen Xabi Alonso to lead their club next season, when it's expected that Ancelotti will leave for the Brazil job. And as much as Xabi has shown commitment and focus on the project at Leverkusen, I think it's pretty safe to assume that if Madrid come knocking next season and offer the Madrid job to a man that played so many of his prime years for the club, it's pretty safe to assume that he will accept the proposal and be the man to lead Madrid. And for the record, by the way, I think he will be awesome managing Los Blancos. His heavy possession and attacking managerial style, plus his legend status that he holds there, will go down so well with the players and the Bernabeu faithful. I think, as a football fan, that will be pretty awesome to see. But anyways, I would love to know what you guys think of Xabi Alonso as a manager, and what do you make of the work he has done so far in Germany. And while I know it's just 12 months, to be fair, it's been pretty impressive. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.